Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host Definition, and this is the channel where they all float. With the It Supercut being announced earlier this week, I thought it was time to break down everything we know about the upcoming release. The Supercut will contain both films as well as all of the deleted scenes and even some new ones to flesh out the entire story of the Losers Club. The original cut of It Chapter 2 came in at 4 hours, so there was a lot omitted from the release that will finally see the light of day with this new extended edition. Throughout this video I'm just going to be going over everything we know so far, all of the deleted content that will be added back in, and what we can expect in the new editions. There will be heavy spoilers here, so if you haven't seen either film yet, then I highly suggest that you turn off now. With that out of the way, I just want to give a huge thank you for clicking this video. Now let's get into our breakdown of the It Supercut. Okay, so the first scene that we know will be included in the Supercut showcases some of Pennywise's backstory, most notably the well house, which is seen in a painting when Ben is sitting in the library. This scene, set in the 1600s, had a formless Pennywise appearing, and it would show the creature chasing a woman with her baby through the well house before finally trapping her in a room. The woman pleaded with Pennywise to not eat her or her family, to which Pennywise says that he will not kill them as long as she lets it have the baby. In this scene, the woman then puts the baby on the floor and leaves the room, and we would see a bald red Pennywise slowly circle it. We would later learn that the well house would in fact become the house on Neobolt Street, and the well itself would become the entrance to Pennywise's lair. There's also a scene where we see Henry Bowers going mad after slowly being driven insane by the torment of Pennywise, and we pick up with Bill after fleeing from the basement during the scene in which Georgie appeared. In it, he pleads with his father to check the basement because of how flooded it is and how Georgie is down there. His father goes into the basement and we hear him wading through the water before coming up and saying that it's as dry as a bone. This mirrors the scene with Beverly in which her father was unable to see the blood, and also showcases how Pennywise has a psychic effect over the townspeople so that it can continue to operate in kidnapping children. We also see Henry Bowers in a car stalking the losers before the attack in the house on Neobolt Street, and he's also killed his friends. This mirrors his appearance in It Chapter 2, in which he followed them with a car before attacking them. The final scene added for the Supercut would be Bill moving away with his parents to Arcadia at the end of the movie. He looks at his hand with a scar of the oath before getting in the car and leaving the area to go on and become a successful writer, and this scene cements how he managed to get away from Derry. Going on to the second film now, which will still be part of the Supercut. The first scene that we saw in trailers for It Chapter 2 that didn't make it to the film is Pennywise jumping out of the wall with Mike looking up at him. This scene actually centered around Mike returning to the burned out building where his parents died in order to find a token to help him fight the clown in the ritual of Chud. At the location when Mike returned, Pennywise was going to taunt Mike over the death of his parents and say that it was their fault that the building burned down, and there was also going to be the corpse of a young girl who died in the fire screaming out at him, which would hammer home that Mike's parents were responsible. Throughout the film, Mike believes that his parents were drug addicts due to a newspaper title. However, later in the film we see this changes upon the defeat of Pennywise, showing that the character has always mistakenly believed that his parents were the ones to blame. The title of the paper was revealed to say 2 locals died saving neighbor's daughter from electrical blaze, and would cement that they were heroes rather than simply addicts. This scene reiterates Mike's guilt as well as how he feels towards his mother and father, and will also flesh out Mike going back for a token. Moving on from this, in the original script when going to get his token, Ben visited the quarry instead of the school, and this is where he was confronted by the severely burnt Beverly that taunts and chases him. Whether they will switch this up for the Supercut or keep it as the school remains to be seen, but they might change the scenes up to show viewers what they could have gotten in the final cut. The quarry also appears at the end of the film though, which I'll get into later, so this might have been deemed too repetitive. In addition to this, the scene in which Beverly visits her home and runs into Mrs. Kirsch would be far longer than the version that we saw in the theatrical cut. In the trailer for the film in which this scene was first shown, there were several elements of it that didn't make it to the final release, and thus we know that a lot got left on the cutting room floor. This includes the way in which Mrs. Kirsch transforms, with her originally doing it in front of Beverly in the concept art, as well as her teeth falling out during it. Upon leaving the house, a balloon with the words "Sweet Dreams Bevy" would also appear. On top of this, when Mrs. Kirsch pulls Beverly underwater on the way to Pennywise's lair, there was also a scene in which the two fought it out. In the film, this moment seems a bit jarring as she's pulled under, the Losers Club dive in to save her and then emerge without there really being much of a struggle. This scene was going to flesh out this encounter and also show them tackling Kirsch and freeing Beverly from the creature. Jessica Chastain was injured during this, so it's a shame that we never got to see it, but if you're looking for things to cut, then I guess this doesn't really add all that much. Fans have also cried out for Matura and the Turtle to appear in a version of it, but bar a few references, it's never made an appearance. However, in the original cut of the film, when the losers returned to the quarry, they would once more spot a turtle underwater, similar to how they did in the first film. I promised to cover the turtle one day in a video, but Andy Muschietti, director of the film, has said that he does want to flesh out more of Maturin's appearances in the film. This ties in with the fact that Muschietti has also said that he's working on bringing new scenes to the movie for the Supercut, and in an interview with ET, he stated, "We're in talks with the studio to make a Supercut, which is basically the two movies edited together with all the material that is not in the released versions. And yeah, there are a couple of scenes that I want to shoot to make this a new experience. One thing is from the novel and the other thing is not. I want to be a little cryptic about it." He later went on to say to Entertainment Weekly when discussing the possibility of a third film, "It would have to be the right type of approach to it. The book ends where the second movie ends, so that is the final chapter of the story. There is this interesting aspect of going back in time before this all happened. There might be a story there that might be worth exploring. Obviously that would be a story that's not in the book. It would be a freestanding story, but obviously within the same universe. So there might be something interesting out of it. I think it would be fun." So the new scene could potentially focus more on Pennywise's origin story and his attack on the early settlers of Derry, as well as the colonies that he wiped out, which is paid lip service to in the first film. Either way, there's a lot to look forward to, and I would love to have a mega cut that viewers can just sit and come back to, almost like a TV series. Obviously, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this news and if you're excited for the Supercut. Comment below and let me know, and if you enjoyed this video then please like it and make sure you check out my full breakdown over whether Pennywise is alive or dead and which other King's work it's appeared in. I'll link that at the end, so it's definitely worth checking out if you want to know more about the character and its future. If you want to come talk to me about movies, TV shows, games and comic books, then you can follow me on Twitter at DefinitionYT. It's the best way to get in touch with me and is the perfect place to suggest new videos and content, so hopefully I see you over there after this. Also, just want to let you know that we're giving away a free copy of Spider-Man Far From Home on Blu-ray, and all you have to do to be in with a chance of winning is to like this video, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and leave your thoughts on the It's Supercut in the comments section below. The winner will be chosen at random on October the 15th, and the Blu-ray will be shipped out from then to whoever gets the prize, so best of luck to everyone who takes part. This is a channel for people who are mad into movies, so if that's the kind of thing you like, hit subscribe. Thanks again for taking the time to watch this. I've been Definition, you've been the best, and I'll see you next time. Take care, peace.